tracking down the location of the extraction zone on the minimap. This is the only area where we can pick up the civilians.
Hi all, I'm Chris Capel and welcome to this Game Watcher hands-on preview. If there's a genre you don't see enough of these days, it's the proper fun-focused real-time strategy. Sure, you get the historically accurate, intense tactics fests, the odd attempted heir to homeworld space-based crown, a plague of MOBAs, and whatever the hell Blizzard feels like getting up to. But fun, ground-based, Dawn of War style craziness, there's surprisingly few. So then, let me present Mechs Mercs Black Talons from Capel 101, which feels like I might scratch that itch a little bit. In the straightforward sci-fi story, the titular Black Talons are a mercenary group hired by the Nocte Republic to assist in their battle with the Xenar Union. Unfortunately, when the Talons arrive, the Republic has already been overwhelmed by the Union. Normally this would be when a mercenary group goes, "Oh darn, well, never mind, let's go to the pub." But sadly, the Xenar Union have locked down all the Stargates and are hunting down anyone with links to the Republic. As the Talons were basically the Nocte's army, they're now public enemy number one, so what was previously a fight for money has become a fight for survival. Mechs Mercs plays out in two ways: the main land-based RTS battles, and in XCOM-like base management between missions. The RTS side seems straightforward at first, but this simplicity is skin deep. You'll have to consider a lot tactically if you want to succeed. Your starting team consists of several squads and perhaps a mech, drops in at a landing pad, and then you have one mission and several optional side missions, or simply ways to complete that main mission, but the key to victory is usually in gaining control over resource pumps and enemy landing pads to stop them getting reinforcements. That's not always necessary, admittedly, but perhaps capturing those might help a lot. Squads can take cover in certain areas, crouch for slightly improved accuracy and evasion, and have different attributes depending on how powerful they are, so make sure to use each carefully. For example, it may seem tempting to wade into the battlefield with only a few teams of heavily armoured mercs, but while strong, they're incredibly slow, so they're not the most useful in any mission that's reliant on time, like half the ones I played. Likewise, mechs are fun, but extremely expensive to buy and maintain, and medium to low armour mercs are cheap and quick, but get cut down fast without any of the bigger boys to draw the fire. Finally, there's the engineers, who can reprogram turrets and computers and build handy little structures, but won't last 2 seconds in the line of fire. The main resource is the not very exotic sounding command points, which is spent on replenishing squads, repairing mechs, building defensive structures with engineers, and shuttling down new squads. On the battlefield, these can only be obtained as special resource pumps. In the first couple of missions, I often had more command points than I knew what to spend them on, but once the expensive mechs entered the fray on my third mission, set on a Tatooine-style desert planet, I began really struggling to keep up with any demands. Moving on to the base, which is actually your main battlecruiser, it isn't quite as in-depth as XCOM. There's no research to be done here, but you can upgrade it, level up and mess with the equipment of your squads of mercs, buy new stuff on the black market, and choose your next mission. It's all quite straightforward really, which was lucky as there wasn't much in the way of tutorials in the preview version I played. It did admittedly cover the basics, but only the very basics. But the battlecruiser definitely adds another layer to the battlefield that's very welcome. What I definitely noticed was the upgrading of unit squads. Mechs Mercs isn't an infinite units game like Command & Conquer. You have a select amount, and if you don't use them carefully, you're liable to end your game permanently. I personally treated my squads with the same "shit, they died, well, better reload my game" level of reverence that I did in XCOM, which was made a little bit more harder by the fact that mid-mission saving currently isn't a thing. If you're running low on men, pull them back to a landing pad and buy some new members of command points. And if your mech starts smoking, it needs repairing pronto. Fail to keep your men alive mission to mission, and you'll find the later missions get even tougher if you try to take them on using fresh teams without any upgrades. Even then it's a bugger, since Mechs Mercs is tough. Seriously, I had to knock the difficulty down to novice on more than one occasion, and even then I struggled on most missions. Even the tutorial mission gave me absolutely no quarter, luring me with straightforward "here's a turret, shoot it," and "this is a landing pad, capture it" messages, before suddenly opening up a bridge and bombarding me with enemy squad after enemy squad. Then it told me to basically assault a fortress with 3 small teams, a couple of specky engineers, and some bad language. That's just the tutorial. The following missions get much harder, so don't be surprised if you have to repeat more than one of them. I did, certainly, but then I admittedly suck at thinking tactically. Of course the game isn't quite finished yet, so there's plenty of time for balance. Graphics, for example, are varied in terms of environments, but aren't the prettiest you'll see on PC right now. That's not necessarily important, but there are certainly bugs or just plain areas to improve. Units have trouble getting into cover spots, for example, and it's often hard to tell if they're crouched or not. Furthermore, a better and slightly fairer tutorial is recommended, please. Camel one away? Even if it's just to tell idiots like me how to replenish their squads. Oh, and a mid-mission save would be nice, please. If you're looking for challenging, old school, the advantages of new school style RTS, then Mechs Mercs Black Talons could well be what you're after. It's incredibly tough and take no prisoners, but when things go right, it can be extremely tactically satisfying. You can't beat taking down an evil space empire of pillaging marauders using heavily armed grunts armed with rocket launchers and laser cannons, and sweet, sweet mechs. Mechs Mercs Black Talons is a PC-only RTS, the best kind of RTS, and has a general release date of Q4 2014, so they better hurry up a bit. Thanks for watching this preview. Game Watcher out.